Welcome back to your newest favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins, where BitBoy and J-Chains get together each week to talk about crypto and things happening in the community. They will bring you some special guests and giveaways, so make sure you're subscribed. For all show-related news, you can find the guys on various social media outlets. Everything is listed on the official show Twitter account, @BeardsBitcoins. Now, without further introduction, two dudes that have beards, like Bitcoins, and want to talk to you about both, BitBoy and J-Chains.
Hey guys, welcome back to your favorite podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. We're getting up there in the double-digit episodes now. I am your co-host, BitBoy, sitting alongside my co-host, J-Chains.
What's up, man?
Oh, good. Not much, man. Just, the markets are looking green today. I'm wearing a red hat, but the markets are green. What do you think about that?
Dude, you're looking good. The markets are looking good. You're looking good. Hey, it's what is today? Wednesday? Happy hump day.
Happy hump day. That's right. If you guys are listening, it'll be Thursday, so that means that you guys missed hump day. But today is hump day. That's the important thing. So tonight we got a pretty good episode for you guys. It's pretty good, I think. We're going to be talking about the markets. The markets are on fire today in a good way. First time in a long time. We got Tron up almost 30%, Stellar, Litecoin, Monero, all over 10%. Actually bought some of all of those last week, so I'm feeling pretty good. Then a little bit later in the episode, we are going to talk about, we're going to bring on a very special guest, which we're not going to introduce yet. We're going to introduce a little bit later on in the episode. Who has a really different perspective on crypto, who is not part of the crypto community, but yet has got to see it very thoroughly. And so we're going to make sure to get that guest's opinion on a lot of different stuff. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I think it's going to be a really great episode tonight.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. First, got to give a quick shout out to one of our show sponsors, HODL Fuel. Okay. Find them on Twitter @HODLFuel, hodlfuel.com on the web. Promo code Beards Bitcoins. Get yourself 10% off and a bag of coffee. Hey, right now, I'm gonna kind of jump into the week a little bit, but I won't. But I'm drinking my HODL Fuel. I'm drinking Wen Lambo. This weekend, I'm actually going to drive a Lambo.
Oh, you gonna do one of those little driving course things?
Yeah. My buddy last year and I, we actually early in the fall, we booked ourselves the Lambo experience here in Austin, and somehow we booked it for 2018, not 2017. And so we're, and it's so funny, quick story about this, but we're ripping through the bull market last year, and we've got these Lambos on reserve for 2018 December, and we're thinking, dude, we're not going to need these. We're going to be having our own Lambos by the time we get there. Flash forward to a year.
How did that work out for you?
Going to rent a Lambo.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Anyhow, so
I've actually done that. I've actually done that before. I'm going to cut you off on that to tell you I didn't drive a Lambo, but I did get to go do one of those courses. I drove an Audi T8 and nice. Convertible Ferrari. So this is the advice I'll give you. Drive that thing like you stole it. That's what I did. So
there we go. I think we got the Huracan and the Ferrari 848 or 484, something like that, the Italia. So we're my buddy Ross and I, we're going Saturday morning to go rip up the track. It's
exciting, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a good experience. But next year, surely by this time we'll have our own, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyhow, so again, make sure that you are looking out for the post when we go ahead and post this episode of Beards and Bitcoins online, because we will have the contest for the bag of HODL Fuel that we give away. HODL Fuel is the crypto themed coffee that sponsors the show again. So it's probably going to be something like give us your best holiday meme crypto theme.
Love it. So speaking of contests, we got another contest going on right now, which is the Crypto Movement, one of our other show sponsors, Crypto Movement t-shirt giveaway. Crypto Movement. You got to rock that gear. So we got that giveaway going on. That's actually going to be going until the 30th, so we will be announcing the winner of that pretty soon. But Crypto Movement is the sponsor of the Crypto Movement Twitter shout-out. They have crypto apparel for the crypto enthusiasts. You can find them at Crypto Movement. That's MVMT. On Twitter and Instagram. You can also find their website, crypto-mvmt.com. They got a lot of fresh gear on there. There's so many different apparel companies right now and with crypto, and they're all seem to be doing pretty well. I know almost all the shirts I wear are crypto related. I'm rocking my own BitBoy crypto shirt today, but big shout out to Crypto Movement for, really getting up in the space and making good shirts. So speaking of the Twitter shout out, let's go ahead and get to it. This is a Crypto Movement Twitter shout out where we pick people on Twitter that we follow and we've noticed this week is doing some good things. So who you got this week, Jay Chains?
All right, this week, man, it all kind of comes full circle. He's one of the fam. He is involved with HODL Fuel, Bitcoin Ben. You can find him at BenSemchee on Twitter. That is Bitcoin Ben. He is doing an awareness tour right now, and I know that HODL Fuel actually just gave a Bitcoin Ben brand blend coffee. So congratulations to that, buddy. Cheers to you. Cheers to what you're doing. I got a chance to meet you. I know BitBoy that you know him because you did an interview in Vegas.
Yeah.
That I was.
Well, I met him in person the same time you did. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was good to meet him in Vegas at World CryptoCon.
Yeah, he's a really super awesome guy, and I was actually on a panel at World CryptoCon, a YouTuber influencer panel with him, which was a lot of fun. My favorite thing I took away from that is, he's very open. He's got a speech impediment. He stutters. And I didn't know this. He actually had his own radio show in St. Louis and was like one of the top radio shows in St. Louis. He said, you're good when you can go into a radio station and convince them to give a show to a guy who stutters. And I just thought that was so hilarious. I was laughing about that so hard, but he's definitely an awesome dude. Yeah.
Absolutely. So cheers to you, Bitcoin Ben. And what about you, brother? What you got going on?
So I'm actually going to be shouting out two people that really haven't done anything that significant this week. It's really what was done to them. So it's a very unfortunate situation where Twitter is banning accounts left and right for seemingly no reason at all. And you just got to be so careful what you post on Twitter. Almost you can't be careful enough because you really never know what's going to happen. So this week, or today actually, Crypto Randy Marsh, also known as Non-Dual Randy, and also TM5K, they both got banned from Twitter today. So really, really terrible. But yeah, I want to give them a shout out because they also have some alt accounts. And I wanted to shout out their alt accounts so that, you guys could help them get their followers back. Randy's is at Randy Morsh, Morsh. And TM5K's is at _TM5K. And, the thing about this today that really, I was thinking about is, this could happen to any of us. And it could happen to my YouTube channel. It could happen to our Beards and Bitcoins Twitter account. It could happen to my Instagram account. It can happen to any of these accounts because they're centralized companies, and so they can ban you at any point. But what's really important, and that's one reason why we are so focused on community, is you have to build that community so if something like this happens, you can still get your followers back by creating a new account or whatever it might be. So that's why it's good to kind of have a backup alt account in case something did happen to one of your accounts. So go ahead and let's try to get these guys their followers back up. So they both do pretty good stuff for the space.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I've been seeing that, and I don't know if it's all just banned accounts or, they're just going through and cleaning house. But, the other day I saw some numbers fluctuating that were going up, or they're going down, big time in followers. So, it sounded like they were either banning, from what you're saying, today, and or, getting rid of some of the fake, hopefully the bogus accounts. Those things are annoying.
We've lost a lot of accounts over the last 6 months, a lot of bigger accounts too. So, I mean, if you had, think about it, in my account, I've got about 8,000 followers on Twitter, and that sucks if I were to lose that. That's real bad. But I think about some of these guys that got 60, 70, 80,000 followers and they lose their account. There's no going back. I mean, on Instagram, I just passed 10,000. I've got almost 11,000 followers on Instagram. It's like the unconquered frontier of crypto. And with that, I got my swipe up. So I can do it. I can do an Insta story and I can put a link on there and somebody can swipe up and go to that link. That's like a big thing on Instagram. And I worked so hard to get there. I've been working, grinding on that account since January. Finally got it up over 10,000. If they were to come and ban that account or something, I would want to quit. I wouldn't even want to do Instagram anymore, because it's so hard to get to those numbers. So, big shout out to those guys for continuing to do what they're doing. Hopefully they don't get discouraged by it or, drop out of the space or drop out of Twitter. They wouldn't drop out of the space, but.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Too many people are doing that right now with the and that kind of segues into we've gotten through our shout outs and whatnot. That kind of brings us into the topic that we want to talk about today is the market. There's people obviously the last couple of weeks, man, to see some of those 25% whatever losses in just a matter of days was catastrophic. But today was up, which is good. I think we talked about that. It's a good positive day. Gotta like to see those green candles.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can string a few of those together, and the bigger the better. I know everybody's looking forward to that and getting sentiment up, getting positivity back, and moving forward.
Yeah, it's been rough the last few weeks. And I want to go back to something that we talked about a little bit last week, the confusion of the Bitcoin Cash. I'm really starting to believe that entire dip was solely Bitcoin Cash. It certainly is looking like that at this point because the hash wars, the Bitcoin Cash hash wars between Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision and Bitcoin Cash ABC, basically Roger Ver and Yihan Wu versus Craig Wright over which, one of the forks is going to do the best. They're actually both in the top 10 right now. And, Craig Wright announced a couple hours after the dip began when we went from 6,400 to under 6 in a matter of an hour. He said, "This is me selling my Bitcoin," basically is what he said. He said they're going to sell the Bitcoin in order to fund the hash war. And, at first I was like, this is ridiculous. He did it a few hours later. It would have been different if he would have said like before the dip that he was going to do that. Then it would look more, more real. But now I'm looking back at that and I'm saying maybe that was the case because just on Monday, I reported on a story on my channel about how Craig Wright and Roger Ver had basically called a truce and said the hash wars were now completely over. And as soon as that happened, now today we've got this huge rush of green. So I don't know what that says about the market. It's very, very interesting though.
Man, that's crazy. I don't know. I was not paying attention to that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
But it is good to see some green in the market. That's for sure. I know that those guys have been, that whole thing over last week was pretty gnarly.
It was 2 weeks, really. I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was 2 weeks. I also thought it was really funny that the dip started the morning after the crypto salt bucket challenge started.
I hope there were some people that were dogging it pretty good, but I doubt that had anything to do with it.
No, it's just weird. Yeah. Obviously, a bunch of Twitter B-level celebrities doing or crypto Twitter B-level celebrities doing a salt bucket challenge wasn't going to actually affect the market.
They were funny though. I mean, you can't take anything away from them. I mean, this was great. Yeah. I mean, you had baseball pants on, man.
I rocked it.
I mean, you were in a full-on outfit.
Oh yeah,
a uniform. Excuse me.
Salt season. You got to train for that salt season when it comes up.
I thought you were like dipping too.
Yeah. But it was just funny because it was, the whole thing with that salt bucket challenge was to get rid of the salt on Twitter. And then the next morning, the bottom fell out of the market. And then it just got saltier and saltier and saltier. But it's so funny today to see now that the tide seems to have turned. Now, a lot of people are still calling we're going to drop back. But there's also a lot of bullish sentiment now with some different indicators, with some TA things that are saying maybe we have hit bottom and can move up. The fact that it happened so quick, the sentiment is changing. It's been very refreshing to see the lack of salt on Twitter today. Nobody attacking each other when the markets are green. So
everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Keep those green markets.
Did you buy anything on the dip we had?
A little bit, not much. I didn't take advantage of it. I thought it was going to last a little longer. I'll be ready for the next one if it happens. I mean, I've got some bags.
Yeah. Well, I certainly celebrated Tron's giving with a Tron investment. It's up 30% today, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. You said you with the recent sale of your house that you had a little extra kicking around money, and that was perfect timing, man.
It could not have been any. I was so dreading because I knew it took about 2 months to close on the house from when we had initially sold it. It was just going to take, I think it was about 6 weeks. And I just knew what was going to happen. It's like, gosh, we're going to sell this house. And then as soon as this thing closes, the price is going to have already skyrocketed. And actually, it was the exact opposite. The week after, or the week that we sold it and closed it, that was the week that we went under 6,000. And, it's definitely been good timing for me. And I'm glad I didn't lose out. So
what if you fulfilled part of the prophecy?
Yeah.
Selling that house was part of the prophecy, and then we're just making things up right now.
No, I love it. It's part of the altcoin prophecy, So
there you go.
The crypto gods were definitely very good to me on this one, because I definitely could have missed the entire thing. But I've been fortunate to be in a situation where every time we dip down low, I'm able to get a decent chunk. And
BTFD.
Yeah.
BTFD.
Yeah, I've got myself in a pretty good position right now, being able to get at these prices. And if it was all the Bitcoin Cash stuff and we go back up over 6 in short period of time, like I almost double my money in a couple weeks. So that's what I'm hoping happens. I don't know if it will, but I'm definitely hoping that it was all Bitcoin Cash and then that's over. So
yeah, put it to bed.
Put it to bed. Put that little baby to sleep.
There you go. Wrap it up like a little baby.
Thing. Little baby, just rock that thing. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, the markets are doing good today. I think maybe we should go ahead and bring on our special guest and talk about some community stuff. What do you think?
Let's do that. Let's get some community engagement going.
All right.
Who's our special guest?
Our special guest is my wife, Mom of Wild Things.
Woo!
Hello.
Quite a surprise. Very good to have you here.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. So we're actually
you obviously he must be in the studio and he must have kept you at home tonight.
Yeah, I'm in like a secluded corner, in a room.
Yeah, not in a studio. That's no good. Well, yeah. I wanted to bring my wife on. My wife has actually been involved in social media longer than I have. I used to have a Facebook account. I don't have anyone anymore, but she actually has a blog. So you want to talk about your blog for just a second?
Sure. It's a parenting lifestyle blog, and we focus on just spending quality time with your kids and your families. And I'm a book nerd, and so we talk a lot about book recommendations that you can read to your kids, and also just what I'm reading too, because that's just part of my life. So it's definitely totally different world than crypto, but it's interesting to see how it kind of works. So
yeah, it's definitely very interesting because you've got a lot more experience on Twitter and Instagram and things like that. And you've been part of this other community that's different than crypto Twitter, but it's still a community. And so I thought
is it regular Twitter, normie Twitter?
Well, they call it book Twitter.
Yeah. So it's very interesting that, it has its own thing. And all the time I hear people say like, well, how do you get to crypto Twitter or how do you get to book Twitter? It's like you just surround yourself by accounts that are all basically focused on one thing and you wall yourself off in a lot of ways from normie Twitter, as we call it.
Yeah, I'm sure people are very confused by the people that I follow because it's very eccentric, but it's okay.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I think the most important thing is you're looking really great tonight. Thought I'd tell you that since, I want everybody to know that. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So what's that?
That's a smart.
Yeah, you got to, right? So I guess the first thing is we're obviously not going to talk about books and we're not going to talk about, specifics of your blog and stuff like that because that's not why you're on here. I want to talk about the tie-in to the crypto community because you've kind of got like a 30,000 foot look at crypto by being my wife and then having that social media experience. I thought it'd be very interesting to get your perspective on different stuff. So let's start out with what do you know about crypto?
Well, what I have learned over the past year is that it's a digital currency that's supposed to be decentralized and not controlled by the government or any type of entity. so that you can control your own money and you don't have to depend on the bank. So, but it's taken me a solid year to be able to say that. So,
do you know which one's your favorite?
I'm sorry?
Do you know which crypto is your favorite?
Oh gosh, that's way too detailed. I don't really have a favorite. I barely understand it enough to really dive into the specifics of it. When Ben really started getting into it, or BitBoy, sorry, when he started getting into it, I just kind of thought it was just like a fad that he would get into, and then a couple months later, like wouldn't be interested in it anymore.
I've never done that before.
my wife said she thought the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very normal response for a spouse, is just to be like, oh, okay, this is just this thing that's going to be here for a couple months and then it's going to go away. And it did not go away, and instead it's just grown. And so it's kind of forced me to look at it a little bit more detailed, and to consider, like, what is this and what does this mean for the society at large, and what does this mean for our family, and is there a future in this? And so it's been, I think in the beginning Ben was like, don't you want to learn about crypto? And I was like, that's your thing. No, I don't want to. But as time has gone on, it's kind of progressed, and I've been like, wanting to learn more about it, mainly because I'm listening to him. Like, I watch his videos and I listen to the podcast, and I don't understand anything that's being said, but I'm learning, and it's creating conversation in our home. It makes it really interesting. So yeah, it's a different perspective, because it's not something that I would have thought to even like dive into at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think in my house, my wife, she doesn't do any social media right now. I mean, I think that she's on Facebook, and it's for some of the things with her friends, because we live away from all the people that we know.
Right.
But so she has no involvement. She has no exposure to it, and she certainly, it's almost like we live two different lives. Like, anything that I do crypto, she knows nothing about. So
right.
It's not that I don't tell her about it, but it's just, it's not part of it. It's, we've got, other things that we talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's interesting because, like, I'm very active on Facebook. A lot of it is for my blog. And so, a lot of people who are in our circles, they know that I've got a blog, and they know what that looks like, and they see the stuff that I post. Well, because Ben's not on Facebook, no one knows what's going on with his channel or his podcast. And so it's been interesting for me to like see this booming success, and a lot of people in our circles don't even know what's going on. And it's been really interesting for me to watch it.
You do bring your mug around, don't you?
I do. I stole it.
She did. She took my mug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going through one of those energy drink seasons where I'm just drinking the crap out of energy drinks instead of coffee. Blue Rockstar, #1 right there. And the old wife has stolen the coffee mug.
Yeah, well, I mean, it keeps the coffee hot, so
it sure does.
And what do you think about the coffee?
I like the coffee. It's really good. It's really good.
It is. I got to do an order like a bozo. I totally snoozed the was like the Cyber Monday or Black Friday sale that he was doing.
I should have got the K-Cups.
I totally snoozed it. I'm ready to order. I need to get some new Satoshi blend. This is like I said earlier in the show, the Wen Lambo. I'm so excited to drive a Lamborghini.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna go so fast.
Yeah. Well, this is the purchaser of my Ferrari experience. She got that for my birthday one year. So.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Good on you. Take a hint for Christmas. It's Lambo season.
Yeah.
Love you. So, well, one thing I wanted to talk about is, since you've kind of gotten to, almost be involved in crypto and the crypto community by osmosis, I thought I would ask you, like, what are your thoughts about the crypto community? And I guess, I think you should probably start off with that funny story about how you realized you were in crypto Twitter.
Yeah, for the past couple months, like, I've been following different people and watching BitBoy's tweets and things like that. And so I kind of just thought that I was like this silent observer, where I wasn't really involved, but I was just, watching tweets and things like that. But a couple weeks ago, someone tagged me on in a tweet, and they had like taken my profile picture and were discussing like how I looked like someone that they knew from high school, and they were like, "Yeah, and this girl's part of crypto Twitter." And I was like,
Nice.
"What?"
Nice.
I'm not part of crypto Twitter, but it was at that moment that I was like, "Oh, I guess I am," and I never saw that, but I guess I am. So, yeah, it was kind of surreal, but I think the thing that's been really interesting for me is that like the community of cryptocurrency is some of the most like supportive people I think that I've ever met. And I haven't even really formally met anyone, but I just think that they just are like exceedingly kind and just very supportive of one another. And I think that type of community is rare, and I think it's also like really unique on a social media spectrum. In the mom blog world, you don't really see that very often, and which is crazy because there are so many of us, but you don't see a tight knit community like you do with crypto Twitter. And so, or either on any type of social media, but especially on crypto Twitter. And so it's interesting to watch and to see how people have each other's backs. And, like a lot of times when Ben's like, like he's texting or getting messages from people, like at first I was like, really? Like these people are like involved in your daily lives? Like, and to see that it goes beyond just the topic of cryptocurrency is so fascinating to me, because it's not just surface level. Aside from cryptocurrency, there's a lot of genuine interest in it. And so it's just, it's really fascinating for me to watch. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I participate in it, but I mainly just watch. And it's really interesting to watch how this community is so supportive and very quick to defend their own.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So it's really interesting.
It's a good group of people, everybody, like you said, everybody's supportive. Obviously there are the divides, and I think BitBoy, like you said before, you've got some YouTube people that whether they don't get along with or don't even involve themselves with any Twitter people, there's some walls that divide themselves between the different social media platforms, and that will probably always be the way that it is. But for the most part, crypto Twitter is great. It's a great place to be. I mean, everybody that we surround ourselves with on a daily basis with, the Satoshi droppers and people within the community, others that all are like-minded and feel the same way. Great group of people. There's I have no problems with anybody. It's it's a good place to be.
I just think the success of cryptocurrency will only go further than even what a market can do, because the community is so strong. And that's true for any type of environment. I mean, I know you both are like sports people, so that when a sports team has a strong community behind it, like they just flourish. And I think it's the same way with cryptocurrency, is that when you have a community that is campaigning and cheering each other on, you can only go uphill from there. I mean,
that's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. I like that.
And this is from a normie, y'all.
I got a big kick out of that podcast episode.
She's a no coiner. Okay, I'm the coiner here. Okay, you guys remember that. She's got no coins. Okay, I'm making
sure. No coin brochacha.
No coin. My wife. A non-crypto brochacha. That's you.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So J Chains brought up YouTube, and you were talking about mom blogs and stuff like that. I thought it was really interesting. You said to me several months ago that you see kind of the beginning of cryptocurrency, and while of course crypto is not brand new, crypto, the culture and community of crypto is fairly new. You compared kind of the beginning of cryptocurrency to what you saw at the beginning of like mom blogs, which I know that sounds kind of crazy, but can you kind of expand on that a little bit and explain what you mean by that?
Sure. So, about, I would say probably like 10 or even maybe even closer to 15 years ago, blogs were just becoming this thing. And originally it started out as just girls like having fashion blogs, or like no one really knew what this space of being a blogger would look like. And now they just began, and they started doing all these projects with each other, whether that was guest blogging or participating in projects. And they learned how to, if a company was doing like a sponsored post, like how to make sure that they were within like regulations. And so they just kind of grew and they learned together. Well, what I think is so interesting is that now you have like the OGs of bloggers, right? And so these bloggers have gone on to like write books and create their own product lines. And they've done all these things. And they're very respected in the blogging atmosphere because they've been around from the very beginning. And so, in the beginning of the blogging world, I was just a reader. I guess it's like a trend that I do. I just kind of creep around on the internet, but they started, when you see this transition, I started noticing that the beginning of cryptocurrency on social media feels very similar to what is now like the mom blog atmosphere, where like you see people like they have a vision for what they could be and what the future could be like. And so it makes things different for, I see like when you have companies that are creating like shirt designs, and they're, creating coffee and all these things, but it's because they have a vision of what it could be in about 10 years. So you see, I think you can parallel like mom bloggers or just the blogging world to cryptocurrency and have a feel for what the future is going to be.
Yeah, that's really exciting. As I forecast myself 10 years in the future, I'm really looking forward to having my own line of cookware. It's going to really be incredible.
Cookware?
Yeah, right?
Like chef pants or knives?
Like the Pioneer Woman. It's going to be the Crypto Man.
Yeah, no, she's definitely.
I won't be BitBoy. I'll be Bitman by then. Yeah, the OG.
You have like your own cast iron pans.
Exactly, but they'll all have like cryptocurrency symbols on the bottom of them.
Yeah.
So when you make your flapjacks, they'll be Bitcoin flapjacks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think that was. Oh, go ahead.
I recently just got I found out how much I love pancakes. We found out at the Costco they got like this box that would make about enough pancakes for 1 million people.
That's so funny.
I can make chocolate chip pancakes like no one's business right now.
That is so hilarious. That's so funny. So hold on just a minute.
Oh, here we go. Oh, did we have an intruder?
Yeah.
No.
So.
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
No, thanks.
You guys saw I really sprung into action and went and tried to save her. But so I want to ask you, also about like, so who do you follow that's on crypto Twitter? Who have you interacted with, and things like that?
Well, this could be like a crypto movement Twitter shout out at the end of it.
So. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, obviously, I interact with BitBoy on a daily basis.
That's what she said.
Oh gosh, stop. But anyways, so I actually follow. I have all of BitBoy's tweets turned on so I can get notifications. Just because he tweets so much, otherwise I wouldn't know. I would miss half of them. But apart from that, or him. I also have interacted with Crypto Sanity. I think he was the first one to like start interacting with me, which was I was so surprised because I just didn't expect that. And then it's kind of gone from there. I went and looked, and I think I follow like Brekkie and J Chains and Crypto Cake.
No, there you go.
But so those are the ones that I follow. I think there's a few others, but those are the ones that I saw right away when I went and checked.
I always like when I do like a follow Friday or the hashtag FF or whatever there is. I always like hit send. I was like, oh, I could have added like these two people.
Yeah, I'm always amazed every week. Those lists are always so long. I mean, people are so generous with giving people shout outs. It's really amazing.
Yeah, you get the people that get upset about it. You just deal with the notifications, I think. I mean, you can't get mad that people like you though.
You know? Right.
You can't. That's right. And that's so crazy because I definitely remember when I first started on crypto Twitter. Well, I didn't even know it was called crypto Twitter. When I first started on Twitter with my crypto accounts, I decided I use like an advertising service called Twins. It's TWIENDS. It's kind of like a billboard service. So what it does is like you post your account there and then people come and follow you and then you're supposed to follow them back. I went from probably I had about 150 to about 800 doing that, but I realized that unfortunately none of those accounts interact at all with your content. So over time they all dropped off and whatever. So, ever since then, like I said, I was never going to do anything like that again for my account. I do stuff like giveaways to try to increase my followers and stuff like that. That's like a marketing cost. And plus I like giving stuff away. But, the thing about it is just, it's hard to, it's hard to grow your account. And so you really are wanting to get on those lists. I remember just when I was under 1,000 followers, I remember sitting there oh my gosh, I would give anything if somebody would put me on a forward follow list, or a follow Friday, whatever it is. And, the first time I was on one, I was like, yes, I made it. And now, I'm like, oh, great. Notifications, Well,
the problem thing is it's a bear market too.
Yeah.
When it becomes a bull market, things will get insane.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, we're all basically scratching each other's back all the time with the follow Fridays, but new people aren't necessarily coming into the space really right now. So maybe with the markets going up, maybe we'll see a surge again. There actually is some evidence that Bitcoin interest is going up with the Google searches and things like that. So maybe we will see it. I have seen an uptick on my YouTube channel with subscribers, but
my wife and I were watching something on TV the other night, and the guy, there was some commercial, and I forget what it was for, but maybe it wasn't even a commercial, maybe it was part of the show, and the guy said, "I'm going to create my own cryptocurrency." It's on TV,
She just looked at you really here? So
this is on TV now.
Yeah.
As soon as it's easy as doing a Visa transaction right now, that's when people be like, okay, perfect, I'm in. Great, I can control my own money, and it's just swipe, done. Not passwords and private keys and all sorts of stuff.
Well, we did actually go see a movie with the kids after Thanksgiving, and do you want to talk about that for a second, hon?
Yeah, so we went to go watch Ralph Breaks the Internet, which is the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. It became very apparent very quickly that this was going to be a movie that talked all about the internet. And, so they made mention of cat videos and things like that. But they actually had a little shout out for McAfee. And I think later we found out that they did have a Bitcoin reference, right?
It was Safe Network. It's a cryptocurrency. I don't even know about it, but it is a cryptocurrency, reference that was on the same screen there with the McAfee.
But surprisingly, very absent from that whole movie was Facebook. They had reference to Twitter and actually they didn't even reference Instagram now that I'm thinking.
No, they did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was definitely on there. But Facebook was not. Yeah, they had. I just remember they did one thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they definitely did Instagram. But the eBay, Disney, Avengers. Basically, if it was on the internet, it was in that movie. And there's a part of the movie. This isn't a spoiler necessarily, but there's a part of the movie where they go to the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the regular internet, and I was so scared. I was like, "Oh no, they're going to the dark web. I hope this is not where the cryptocurrency reference is." So
that would have been awful.
Yeah, fortunately it wasn't. I was like, man, that would be real bear market right there.
Yeah.
Just like a picture of the Silk Road.
Yeah, I know, right? So, well, we had a couple other things we wanted to talk about some community stuff going on right now. What about? Then you want to bring up the Movember?
Oh yeah. It's like we're getting close to the end of November. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that clearly I participated. I haven't shaved a thing except for maybe the sides, but the movement Movember is all about prostate cancer awareness. So it's a no shave movement called the Movember to bring awareness to prostate cancer. And so you can like donate and run like fundraisers and all that stuff. So thought I just would want to mention it because it's, getting close to the end of it. And if you haven't shaven, if that's the reason why, kudos to you. If you have participated as well, kudos to you.
Yeah, you should donate to the prostate fund. I don't know what you call that, but you should donate to that with cryptocurrency. There you go.
Yeah. Just go on like the web and look up Movember. You'll see if you want to donate to the prostate cancers stuff. I think it's like some crazy statistic. It's like 1 in 3 guys are going to get it or something. It's just a matter of level of when you get it and how bad it is.
Yeah.
Scary, man. It's scary getting old. I don't want. That's not.
It is scary. I'm drinking a lot of energy drinks. I don't think those are good for the old prostate. So, just like in the season right now, I need them. But we also want to talk about the holidays coming up, right?
The holidays are coming up.
Yeah.
Holidays are coming up. What do you guys? Hey, I'm speaking to a couple, a married couple, live and in the flesh, right here. What do the two of you have planned for Christmas? For if you celebrate Christmas, obviously there are different denominations and different holidays for different people. I'm a Christmas person. I don't know. That was pretty presumptuous on my behalf. So what holiday are you spending, and what are your plans?
Yeah, we definitely celebrate Festivus.
Okay. The Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, I do anyways. I don't know if the rest of the family does.
Oh, that's funny. No, we celebrate Christmas. So right now our kids are really into Elf on the Shelf.
Nice.
And so
is that where you like put it in a new place every day?
Yes. So they are like very obsessed with it, and you have to name your elf. And
what's your elf name?
Nephew.
Okay.
Yeah. They named it Nephew. Not a Christmas name, but they were like, he's small. We've never had a nephew before. He looks like a nephew. So they named him Nephew. But yeah, we're doing that, and we don't really have anything planned this Christmas. It's kind of bizarre, but
yeah. Well, we were on an island out by ourselves, away from all of our family. We're much closer to family now, and so it's going to be a lot easier this Christmas than it has been in the past. But who knows? Maybe next year we'll be living in LA, so that would definitely make it a little bit harder. So good thing we're close this year, but we don't know where we'll be next year. So
it'll be a lot warmer in LA.
Yeah,
it's so cold here.
Well, if Tron goes,
that's in a Christmas song.
Oh, if Tron goes to $1 though, if Tron goes to $1 or $2, then we'll actually have a moon residence. So
nice.
You actually do the Christmas tree upside down because of gravity there. So
those bags are packed and ready to go.
Bad.
Christmas 2019. Oh, it's going to be a great.
So other than driving Lambos, do you have Christmas plans?
No, not right now. This is our, I think like 7th or 8th year, something like that in Austin. Currently, so we were home in October in Chicago visiting family. We had said that that was going to be it for the year. That was going to be a celebration, and we had a full Thanksgiving dinner, and that was going to be our Christmas celebration as well. We said that we were going to stick around Austin this year and not visit up north to Chicago. So we'll see if we stay true to that. You never know. My wife's an emotional gal, and we may pack up the car last minute and head up. So my mom may be listening to this, so she may not be surprised if she sees us. But you never know. If we stick here, we're gonna see what Austin has to offer, because we've never stuck around Austin for Christmas.
Sounds fun.
I will be doing through my Twitter account the 25 days of Christmas giveaways.
Oh,
so you guys, I'm sure BitBoy will help out with some of that, and we'll make some announcements and some videos and whatnot. But it'll be 25 days, the 1st through the 25th of crypto giveaway.
Wow,
and it is going to be starring Creepy Claus, correct?
Yeah, we'll call him Crypto Claus, Creepy Claus. I mean,
did I not say Crypto Claus?
He's pretty creepy. He's kind of a creepy character.
Uh,
We'll see. We'll see if he's like more like Bad Santa or Tim Allen.
oh no. Oh no. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husbands. Because Creepy
take
Claw's
the
up
baby.
in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it'll be that bad. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with it.
No, it'll be good. It'll be fun. Well, cool. Well, I guess that'll about wrap up the show tonight. I think we pretty much hit everything. Oh, wait, one more thing. One more thing I want to bring up. Hold on, before we close the show, I did want to talk about. Well, we're bringing up the holidays. What about J. James? What do you think about talking to your family on holidays? I know we already did a whole episode where we talked about talking to your friends and family about crypto, but the big thing this year was last year there supposedly during Thanksgiving. Everybody went home that was in crypto, talked to their families, all their families invested, and after Thanksgiving is when the market really, really, really ran up. And now this year, all those people hate you.
Depends, in my opinion, it depends on, and that, that's my answer. It depends on, where you fall in that spectrum. If you were caught in the gold rush and you went home and you got your parents and your grandparents to invest and they bought at the high and then everybody knows what happened. That is one thing you don't want to bring up is cryptocurrency. But if you kind of missed out on that and you didn't get the opportunity to talk about it last holiday season, now's your chance, baby. Get involved. Tell your family what crypto is, because we've already, I hope, hit the low. And then they can ride up the next high. That's my opinion. We'll see what happens. I'm out. Not financial advice by any stretch of the imagination.
Did you,
Mama Wild things. What do you think about talking to family about cryptocurrency?
Well, I actually spent Thanksgiving talking to my dad about cryptocurrency.
We've converted her.
Yeah, because he had some questions and he was like, why are you still investing in something? Because last week the market was pretty terrible. And so he was like, why are you still investing in something that, it's not really returning back on profit? And I said, well, because it's like a long-term investment. And he goes, oh yeah, we just invested in some stocks that tanked. And I was like, well, maybe you should try cryptocurrency. So,
Maybe.
But I think it's interesting with my dad that he's watching the cryptocurrency markets. He wasn't doing that before, but because of having conversations with Ben and watching Ben's channel, he's starting to have these questions and he's very interested. So we'll see if he actually invests.
Does he play the stock market?
Yes, actually he does. And it's funny because I didn't know that he did that, but in the last, he definitely has told me that he has. And so I think his interest is peaked for sure.
Well, stock markets where you can lose 30% in a week, and during a great week, you may gain 10%. Cryptocurrency, where over almost a year, you can lose 90%, but then the next year, who knows, you might go up 15,000%.
10,
I mean,
I was going to say 10,000, 20,000%. Give it.
That's a 10x to 20x right there.
Wrap that Lambo up, baby.
I still think Tron is going to get 1,000x gain. No, not financial advice, but within the next 5 to 10 years. Not this year, but
that was Crypto Stash who had posted today about Tron versus Neo, right?
Yeah.
I think we had opposing views on that. I hope Neo's what's going to bring China into the crypto mindset. We'll see.
Down, that's a loss. Yeah. If you said ontology, I would listen to you, but Neo's dead, guys. Sorry, not financial advice, but in my opinion, I think Neo's pretty much dead. They signed a memorandum of understanding with Ontology. Neo and Ontology did. They already have where the CEO of OnChain, I think it's OnChain, that is behind Ontology. The CEO of OnChain is the same guy that was the founder of Neo, and now they've signed this memorandum of understanding where basically the Neo team can work on Ontology and vice versa, but supposedly everything I'm hearing is it's all the Neo people working on Ontology, so they've kind of shifted. And this is the way I said, if you had two racehorses and they were both incredible, right? But you've only got one team, like you're a Kentucky Derby team, you've got one team, you've got one jockey. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to put all your time into resources into trying to train both of them and then at the last second being like, okay, well, I guess we're going to choose this one to go race, or you're going to put all of your time, all of your best people into one of those horses and train that thing fully and get it ready to run the Kentucky Derby. You're going to have to pick one. And so, in my opinion, that memorandum of understanding between Ontology and Neo is pretty much what is going to be, maybe not the end of Neo, but I definitely would say I'd pick Ontology way above it. That's my personal thoughts on that.
But good financial advice.
Oh yeah, not financial advice, but Tron for the win. I'm starting to really turn. I wanted to run for a Tron super representative, but
you were talking about that.
Yeah, I'm considering it, but it's probably about a $40,000 to $60,000 investment in equipment because you got to run a node and do some different stuff. So probably need to wait till it goes up a little bit, and then I might be able to do that. I'll have to get my Wild Things on board, of course, but I wanted to run like an actual campaign as a super rep. But I don't know if that's what will happen, but I have turned like really, really bullish on Tron. I think Tron is going to be. I think during this next run, it's going to do incredible. So a lot of people would kill me for that. Like they don't think it, but if you go to my channel, BitBoy Crypto, and you watch my video on Tron and why I think it's going to do well, I think that you guys will at least be interested in it. So, and of course,
up 20% today, sir.
Yeah. And we did just celebrate the first annual Tronsgiving, which you guys should watch that video as well. Every Tronsgiving feast from here on will feature a Tronky, which is a turkey who rides into the feast on a Tron cycle, and then you eat it. What do you think?
There's just so much to that.
Yeah, there's so much. Okay,
like
guys.
A Tron, like the Tron motorcycle.
Yeah, rides it on a Tron cycle.
I want one of those so bad.
A Tron motorcycle. That's what I call it.
Sickle. Give me the motorbike.
Motorbike. That's right up your alley, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I was on my motorbike earlier today.
Oh, your motorbike. I love it. All right, guys. Well, I guess that is going to wrap up the show. Mama Wild Things, you got any final thoughts on the show tonight?
Great show, and thanks for having me on. And I hope that the crypto community just continues to grow stronger.
Stronger and better every day. We're better together.
Just like me and Mama Wild Things.
There you go. All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Out.
See ya.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to Beards and Bitcoins. If you like what you heard, show these guys some love and rate review on SoundCloud or iTunes. Also, remember you can always find the guys on social media. The show Twitter page is @BeardsBitcoins. You'll find direct links to BitBoy and JChains from there. Make sure you check for updates, announcements, and contests. Good luck to all who enter. See you next time.